so this week we're gonna do the management practice of part 2, part 3, and part 4. Now let's begin with the management practice part 2, basics of managing in today's workplace.
The answer of a manager's dilemma is, because of the threat of the exposure, Jim should immediately contact the local health department and report to them of any potential danger. As a result, the local health department may have a plan to inform the public about this exposure. If there is a case of employee who is infected after checking, the health department is likely to require the manager of the restaurant, who is Jim, to take responsible for procedures regarding employee checking, doing decontamination, and a mandatory shutdown until making sure that there is no longer a sign of disease in the restaurant.
So hello everybody. So now we're going to answer some questions that related to global sense. So the first one is, what advice might you give to managers who have little experience globally? So from my perspective, I think a manager having less global knowledge should start getting global information without wasting time anymore. Seeing as the world is becoming more and more global day by day, so it's extremely crucial for everybody to have global knowledge, especially managers. So there are 4 tips that I would like to advise them. The first one is they should attend the global training sections. They should also attend a workshop on global information. Last is taking knowledge from the internet that provide electronic training information in the form of audio, video, lectures, and provide daily updates. So a manager should avail every opportunity to acknowledge information and make herself update day by day, because without that they will not be able to work efficient and effectively. So the next question is, would legal, political, and economic difference play a role at company decide appropriate culture awareness for training for employee? Explain. So the legal, political, economic differences do play a role in designing appropriate culture awareness training for employees. If a manager is going to design training for employees, he must keep these different in mind, because the employee will follow these things in the future. For example, if a company is working in command economy and they have been trained according to the market economy, then the result is quite obvious: failure. Similarly, if cultural value of employee are not observed, they might stop working efficiently and even stop working. So for manager, it is necessary to keep legal, political, and economic value in mind while designing an employee training program. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Let's move to the continuing case. In 1971, 3 young friends founded Starbucks at a store in Seattle, Washington. Their main goal is to sell the whole coffee beans, but they had no intention of building a business empire. In 1982, the entrepreneur Howard George joined Starbucks. It was the quality that ignited his passion for the coffee business and inspired him to envision what Starbucks could become. During his travel in Italy, he was inspired by Italy's coffee culture, and he believed that this coffee culture could be reproduced in the US. According to the case study, all Starbucks employees are called partners. Howard's belief was that partner satisfaction leads to customer satisfaction. The company had a policy of giving health insurance and stock options to even the most entry-level partner.
The rest of the case will discuss more about Starbucks' external environment, organizational culture, global business, diversity, and social responsibility, ethical culture.
Hello everybody. So now we're going to answer some questions after hearing me summarize the case of Starbucks. Let's start with the first question. Do you think Howard viewed his role more from the opponent or from the symbolic perspective? And explain. So, from my perspective, I think Howard tends to view his role toward the symbolic view seen as successful of an organization is always managed by a good leadership. Besides, Starbucks is not a exception at the decision are made at the top level of the organization. Especially, CEO of a company has a symbolic image for all the stakeholders of the company, and his decision cannot be taken based on his knowledge alone. So, let's move to the next questions. What has made Starbucks culture what it is, and how is culture maintained? So, Starbucks culture is created from when it was first founded, so that the consumer got more than just a simple coffee drinking experience, and would hopefully learn more and truly spend their time in Starbucks environment. The culture is maintained through constant training as well as through rewarding the Starbucks partner with benefits and options to make their job worth doing. The next question is, does Starbucks encourage a customer responsive culture, an ethical culture, and explain? So, Starbucks does encourage a customer responsive culture created to help partner fit the company. Furthermore, an ethical culture is also encouraged as Starbucks working culture in a similar way. In fact, they strongly recommended their partner to get involved in the community. The fourth question is to describe some specific and general environment components that are likely to impact Starbucks. So, the specific environment include external forces that have a direct and impact on manager decision and action, but also relevant to accomplishment of the organization goal. There are three main ones. First is customer. This taste can change or they can become dissatisfied with the organization product or service. Secondly, competitor. All organizations have one or more competitor. For instance, Shanghai Skincare Coffee Shop is known for imitating Starbucks customer confusion in the Chinese market. Last but not least, public pressure work group. They have influenced the action of Starbucks. That is why Starbucks contribute positively to community and environment through their CSR programs such as donating to local charity, providing assistance to coffee farmers. All the actions are considered as a response to general environment conditions that might affect the Starbucks company. Next is, how would you classify the uncertainty of the environment in which Starbucks operates? Explain. So, environment uncertainty is the degree of change and complexity in the organization's environment. However, Starbucks faces less number of urgent new competitors, and the environment is subject to steady change as Starbucks continues to grow its operation and face few technological and social uphill from many components of its environment. Also, to be the best in the market, it requires a great deal of environmental knowledge, know about customer taste and reference, and their availability of quality sources of coffee bean and their producer. So, in my conclusion, I think Starbucks environment is more stable and complex nature. What stakeholder do you think Starbucks might be most concerned with, and why? What issue might each of these stakeholders want Starbucks to address? So, how a stakeholder of an organization can be defined as persons, group, organization, or system which can be affected by an organization action. But if we consider the work of Howard, we will realize that the primary concern of Starbucks is not just selling coffee, but providing quality, value, and sense of belonging to its customer, while possibly contributing toward the betterment of society. The essence of Starbucks business is its customer, and the keys to customer is happy and satisfied employee. That is the reason why Starbucks refer to its employee as partner, implying that they are equally responsible for the success of Starbucks and its owner. At Starbucks, its employees are treated with respect, care, dignity, which gently ultimately Starbucks image to the customer. Next, we got what do you think Howard is uncomfortable? Why do you think Howard is uncomfortable with the idea of legislative lobbying? Do you think his discomfort is appropriate? Why or why not? When Starbucks began lobbying legislators on issues including lowering trade barrier, healthcare, and tax breaks, Howard seemed to be uncomfortable and didn't really want to do or engage with it, probably because he believed a lot on achieving success out of fair and honest competitions. Next, what type of global economic and legal political issue might Starbucks face at its business globally? So some of the global economic and legal political issues faced by Starbucks while doing business globally are: they might face a difference in the level of development in different countries. It might face difficulty in dealing with governments of various countries. They also found it difficult to work according to the term and condition prevalent in different countries. Last, they might face difficulty in meeting the needs of various types of people as it conducts its business globally. And what workforce challenge might Starbucks face in global market in regard to its partner? Many challenges can occur when global market and with local market and partner. The first one that may be most difficult is transportation of product. Preserving the bean taste is a must for Starbucks so that they can remain consistent and sending them to remote places in the world can make that a difficult challenge. The supply chain will have to grow, which can ultimately cause more problems. If a break in the chains happens, Starbucks in different countries may not receive their product in a timely manner. That would ultimately result in a decline of product distribution. How does Starbucks manage diversity? What is Starbucks doing to manage diversity in each of 4 areas: customer, supplier, partner, and community? From my point of view, Starbucks' number 1 goal when doing business globally is to be respectful of the global cultural differences and embrace the diversity in how it does business. Starbucks has created a supplier diversity program, which helps create a business relationship to women and majority-owned suppliers. Developing this kind of program is a great business-oriented idea. Starbucks also does support partner network. For example, one is called Starbucks Asset license which involve people with disability to be a part of the parent company. Starbucks had also always staved to be a great community activist by providing a place for people to unite and support the neighborhood financially. Last but not least, which more than 149 partners worldwide, what challenge would Starbucks might face in making sure its diversity value are practiced and adhered to? As mentioned in the previous response, diversity program are keys. Maintaining this type of program will help keep every Starbucks employee on the same track all over the world. One program a year would not be beneficial because of how many employees are hired over the course of a year. Keeping the program as a routine basis will minimize any diversity differences employees might have. Also, Starbucks has to be strict with their workers. If a certain employee consistently had issue with customers due to their background, culture, religions, or other things, they need to be let go and provide an example to all the other employees. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Question 14. An Americans with Disabilities Act case was filed against a specific Starbucks store by a job applicant who had short hair because of the condition of dwarfism. The store management refused to hire her for a private job even though she claimed she could do the job using a step stool, and they did not even offer to toilet accommodation. Starbucks quickly settled the case and agreed to provide training to managers on proper ADA procedure. Question 15. This accreditation means Starbucks is dedicated to creating a workplace that values people from diverse backgrounds who deserve fair treatment, respect, and full participation in an organization's work or decision-making process. Question 16. Specialized programming may be appropriate for an organization like Starbucks. Question 18. I think Starbucks Gone is ambitious, but it is essential for the environment. The difficulty is that such an amount of cups need more time to be recycled as well as popular and acceptable widely in the public. Question 19. Empowerment is to protect Starbucks' reputation through how they conduct business or treat others. Question 21. I like how the term partners is used instead of employees because it shows a sense of equality and shared vision of each member in an organization. Question 22. To provide the best Starbucks experience to every customer, a store manager can give work incentives to his staff by reducing staff pressure and dividing it into 3 or 4 shifts per day. If so, most of employees would have good moods to work efficiently and effectively to transfer Starbucks experience to all customers.
Hello everyone. So today I want to present to you the management practice of Part 3, Starbucks. So in this management practice, we have to answer 9 questions. Here's the first question. So in this question, we have to indicate and evaluate goals of Starbucks. There are 2 kinds of goals, the real goal and the stated one. In terms of real goal, Starbucks want to open 1,500 new stores. They also want to get from 10 to 30% revenue growth and from 15 to 20% earnings per share growth. In my opinion, this kind of goal will heavily affect the employees of Starbucks. For example, a part-time store employee, a barista in Omaha, has to endure a huge stress because of the financial goals. However, in terms of set goal, Starbucks wants to become one of the world's most enduring companies and one of the world's most recognized brands. Unlike the real goal, the set goal will not put too much stress on the employees. For example, the barista will get a huge motivation thanks to the self-esteem. For the rest, for affected objects, to my thinking, they are also the employees of Starbucks. So the effect on their job is the same as the part-time job store employee in Omaha. So let's move on to the second question. There are two types of growth strategies of Starbucks: concentration and diversification. In terms of concentration, they focus on the number of products offered under its flagship Starbucks brand, including the Tivana, Tazo, Seattle's Best Coffee, Starbucks VIA, Starbucks Refreshers, Evolution Fresh, La Boulange, very small hazelnut macchiato, Starbucks Reserve, and so on. And diversification. The company built a partnership with Square, a mobile payments startup, so that all transactions at Starbucks in the US must be processed by Square. Here's the first question. To my thinking, the core of Starbucks' strategy to gain a competitive advantage is product differentiation. To be detailed, Starbucks possesses well-designed store with good ambience and well-trained staff. According to a study conducted by Daily Mail, Starbucks stores provided a more welcoming decor with friendlier baristas compared to independent coffee houses. Besides, they offer the finest coffee available commercially. Custom preparation and the Starbucks ambience, the coffee chairs, the music, the aromas, the hissing steam from the espresso machine. And moreover, to sustain those advantages, the only means is time management. Starbucks must implement a sufficient supervising system to ensure that all activities in any location must be practiced to standard. The question number 4. So, in my opinion, there is no possibility that Starbucks will reach the saturation point because I myself have a strong belief in their management board. They have enough experience and sensitivity to be aware of what products should be developed and how many should be introduced in each market. The next question. McDonald's may be a good benchmark for Starbucks for the following reasons. They are both giants in the food and beverage industry. McDonald's is extending its brand and business. As we have known, it's heavily investing in its concept of McCafe, which is a coffeehouse-style food and beverage chain. McDonald's current business is flourishing because its net income have had a tendency of rising for the last 10 years. Besides, Highlands Coffee can set Starbucks as its benchmark for the following reasons. Highlands Coffee is also a coffee shop chain, so it can learn from Starbucks as its strategy for growth and stability. Both the brands are taking part in Vietnam's market and of course are each other's competitor. So Highlands Coffee can get a huge motivation from Starbucks. The question number 6. So Starbucks have 3 managing techniques: forecasting, budgeting, and scheduling. To be specified, forecasting is a technique that uses historical data as inputs to make informed estimates that are predictive in determining the direction of future trends. Businesses utilize forecasting to determine how to allocate their budgets or plan for anticipated expenses for an upcoming period of time. Second, budgeting is an estimation of revenue and expense over a specified future period of time and is usually compiled and re-evaluated on a periodic basis. At companies and organizations, a budget is an internal tool used by management and is often not required for reporting by external parties. Last, scheduling is the process of arranging, controlling, and optimizing work and workloads in a production process. Companies use backward and forward scheduling to allocate plant and machinery resources, plan human resources, plan production processes, and purchase materials. The seventh question. To mention Starbucks, it will be a big mistake not to refer to Howard Schultz. Howard Schultz was able to develop a culture of employee respect through its transformational leadership style, leaving behind an example for other business owners. He has a belief in intellectual stimulation, which led him to create a brand that broke the norms of coffee culture. The question number 8. In my opinion, Starbucks has one of the most interesting mission statements. Their Starbucks is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. So when you get inside a Starbucks, you will feel like being in a different world. You sit there holding a cup, listening to a piece of music, and enjoying your life. Totally peaceful. And the last question. So, Starbucks' decision to add adult beverages into their menu can raise some concerns about ethical and social responsibility. Selling liquor after 4 p.m. can turn some teetotal people into alcoholics because the trade in regular menu may trigger their curiosity of those who have been regular customers to Starbucks. However, the strategy can bring huge profits to Starbucks for the reason that after 4 p.m. is the time when almost all people come home from work. So they can drop into Starbucks for a drink, and of course, alcohol is no longer a problem because they have left their workplace. So as a result, stakeholders will completely agree with the strategy because making profits is their first priority. So thanks you for your attention.
Hello guys, so I'm gonna talk about the management analysis of part 4 about the case of Starbucks. Continue. So to the question 1, answer is geographical structures because Starbucks is an international world company. It's a worldwide franchise store throughout the world. So that Starbucks needs to deal with many kinds of cultures and clothes in different environments. So I think that geographical structure might be the best. You can see that there are many countries with Starbucks right now, so it is international. To the question 2, so in my opinion, it is because if you have different president for different divisions, it could be a great help because they will have better solutions to deal with local issues like each region, its local leaders. But the disadvantage for this problem may be that they will not have the correlations, the common between problems in solving problems. So different presidents can have different mind concepts, so their solution might be different and might be not appropriate. Okay. Departmentalizations, because Starbucks divides their results into many divisions so that they could know what to design and operate the task, and also the decentralizations, because the Starbucks is a professional organization, so equality is shared between among the team. All individuals, the staff, employees hold the same right to express their ideas and design things. To the question number 4, considering the okay, so first, the reason why Starbucks decreased the number of stores and for that each manager is responsibility for, because Starbucks want their managers to freely focus on their current responsible store so that they could give more effective decisions. That is my opinion. And so the disadvantage of this is the new managers could not adapt to the new environments, because there are these people and that people, so maybe they could not adapt to the new environment. As I said, because the organizations need the correlation between its resources, so it is extremely important for Starbucks to keep its mobile workforce connected. In the areas where there are many stores in the world, the connections between each store and the office can contribute a huge support to the chain of working condition of Starbucks. This could have developed the satisfaction for the customers. And different other things that the company could do to make the sales more effective is it should keep up to the current trend, like the eco trend. Recently, Starbucks provides free upside for each customer if they bring their own glasses or mug. It's pretty cool. Majorly, the organization's function contributes a huge impact to the accomplishment of the goal, because without a proper plan, you could not build anything. So, with a proper organizing, plans can be made carefully and people can analyze the barriers, the struggles that they have to face, and they would not be stunning if they face it again. They face it in the future. So through the hiring, you cannot know what person is adaptable, passionate, or creative team players, because it's just an interview. You cannot observe them long enough to know what they are. So they cannot ensure this because, like I said. But however, Starbucks can still create an environment where their employees can challenge themselves for the reward. This way, the productive can be boosted efficiently because each employees will fight for the rewards harshly. Okay. So if you go into the Starbucks website of the sections Find a Job, you could read about the jobs on Starbucks as I read. It is adequate because Starbucks is a professional organization. Moreover, from the description in the page, it attracts people to look for it, and the good thing is that the words are carefully mixed with the bright pictures, a lot of pictures in the Starbucks pages, so that people could feel warm whenever they visit the page. So as you have read in the management practice, there are barista, shift supervisors, store managers, and assistant store managers. These are the current type of training that are available. The other training that might be necessary, I think that it is about the observation, because with observations, employees can know what the customer wants. They can underrate it in their customer eyes from the little bit of their actions. And moreover, Starbucks could also provide the training about the marketing branding, about how they could sell their products and mugs. Like Starbucks mugs is one of the most best sellers of Starbucks. To the question 10, okay, I will do the orientations about the rules in Starbucks, the rewards that they could receive, and I will show them once again about the types of coffee, the ingredients, and the recipe, and how to allocate the store so that the customer might want to come in. And I will introduce them to the rest of the employees, and if you got any faithful employees, then I will let him guide the new guy. To the class questions, which of the company principles affect the owners? Yes, the function of the management. I found the pictures on the internet about the guiding principle of Starbucks, so I think all these guiding principles can affect the organization's function of management. Why? Because first, to the structural issues, these 5 elements will help the team to have a better working environment in terms of authority. The managers can get updates from their employees frequently, and it can also motivate the employees to help the company to attain the final goal. To the human resource issues, this can strengthen the communication between the employees and the staff. So this could help making the encode and decode process, the communication process between the employees to become more clear or effective. And in the last issues, in managing teams, the employees could become more ethical due to the clear disciplines and rules of the company, because of due to the clear communication that we have said. So and moreover, the spirit of the employees can be good in the right place. They will fight hard for the reward, and also the productivity, the sales could increase. This is a huge advantage for Starbucks. Thank you for listening.